Hey everybody, this is David Skarica, stock chart of the day. So today we're going to look at natural gas. A little bit of a different, I guess, sort of um, makeup here. Second, yeah, okay. So we're gonna look at it here. Um, so natural gas prices have gotten really beat up. They had a huge surge during the Russian invasion. You can see here, natural Barron's just had an article, they're up 40%, they're sub $2, but like, we're seeing all this kind of thing in the news, of oversupplied, but the EEA came out and said that oil production really won't go up this year. I think this regional banking thing in the US is going to hurt because a lot of those loans for fracking come from regional banks. So I think you're going to see US production decline. Now, the flip side is in a couple of years, we may see more production from Canada because you're sitting up there with a huge amount of potential natural gas and oil and gas. Alberta, Canada actually, believe it or not, has the second largest oil reserves in the world. The largest is Venezuela. And of course, because of all the issues in Venezuela, those are not going to be tapped anytime soon. So if you get the combination of if there is a Republican victory and a conservative victory, that could really untap the oil sands, which is kind of why I like a lot of the Canadian plays because they have that added political boost as well. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you this. So natural gas, you can see here, they're down from 360 to 2 just here. And despite that, that cold spell, we had a few around Christmas time in the US, or we have seen this kind of warmer type winter over most of the US. Although I'm living in the Bahamas, I can tell you it's a really cold winter here. Like usually what happens here in the winter, our average in the summer, our average temperature is like 32. So like for you in the US, about 90. And then it goes down to about mid 70s. So that's mid 20s Celsius in the winter. And then we get these cold fronts where maybe it's only gets up to 20 or 21 degrees. And that lasts usually a couple days or 3-4 days, and then it goes back to being 25. We've just had like weeks and weeks here of kind of like low 20s, right? We just had a big rainstorm and cold front just go through, you know. So yeah. Like I said, this here it's been cold. Hey, I don't want to bore you with the weather in the Bahamas. So this is a 20-year chart of natural gas that I'm gonna put up here. And okay, so for the paying members, just so you know, I have a natural gas play that I actually bought a bit of it today in a family account. So that is just for paying members, and it pays a really nice dividend of nearly 8%. And it's a play that has consistently paid these dividends even when natural gas prices go down. So we can see, since like you can see with the fracking boom really kind of put this lower level on natural gas. First of all, we rotated between $4 and $14 back in the 2000s, and then we fell to 2, and we've kind of gone between 2 and 8 here. But what we can see is every time we've gone to about $2, 2012, 2016, 2020, that there has been, even last year, there was a nice little bounce. It didn't, go quite as high, but we can see that every time we've gone to that $2 level, we've had these big rallies. This rally here took it to 5. This rally here took it to over 6. This rally here, we went to almost $10 a contract. So what we can see is natural gas, like this is kind of like the buy zone. I would say between 2 and 3 or under $3. And then, over 6, I would consider kind of the sell zone. Probably at like 4 or 5, you want to take a little bit of profits. You could double your money. And there is a natural gas ETF as well. Like this one I don't mind doing. Yeah, here, First Trust Natural Gas ETF, FCG. So you could kind of look at this. Obviously, with this, the reason I prefer natural gas companies is that you're going to get a dividend, right? So and you can see that because of the nature of this, and the rollover, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, you can see it's up quite a bit, since there. But you could basically, buy this as well. But I would prefer a natural gas company, which I'm going to talk about in my pay version of stock chart of the day. A play we're kind of looking at, like I said, I personally added. And again, that's kind of the idea of stock chart of the day, where I'm not having like an official watch list or recommended list, but if I do see an opportunity and I kind of do something myself, then I talk about it in stock chart of the day. So, I do these private placements and micro caps, mostly mining juniors. and then, I'll do trades and etc. And then I'll just kind of talk about what I'm doing. And then I view this like you're adults. The problem that I find in the newsletter industry is everyone wants these recommendations and blah, 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 or a lot of people do, but I think people can make their own decisions. You give them some information, you give them examples of what you're doing, and then you kind of just put it out there, and then they can do whatever they want to do. So that's kind of the way I view it. So there you goes. There, natural gas. So just and then we'll kind of end off here. Inca One. It's not a huge announcement today, but they did finally close. I know some of you. I did this. I did a little bit of this private placement myself. They're a sponsored company, stock chart today, but they did close. Actually, the placement ended up being almost $18,000 oversubscribed. They had 2 tranches and at 10 cents a share. The stock did sell off a little bit today. I noticed the volume was actually a lot heavier than it usually is today. Maybe it's people that got into the placement just kind of like now that they have their position, just turned around and sold a bit the last couple of days. But of course, I've talked about this ad nauseum, and that Inca One, has about a $5 million Canadian market cap, and they're doing nearly 6 million in sales, and they're trying to work out a loan to get their facility up to full production. And I'm going to try to have the Inca One CEO on to kind of talk about this, because the structure of the loan is very kind of unique that they're trying to do. It's not dilutive either. So I think that could really, really help. Because this company could keep like it down to like roughly 50 million shares outstanding where they are now, they could really move. And, and I've used this analogy with Inca One, like Dynacore in 2010. If they can get to full production, plus a combined with a gold price breaking above 2,100, maybe to the 2,500 to 3,000 range over the next 12 to 18 months, this is the kind of stock that I think can go up, quite well. Like I said, I own it, and they're a sponsor company. So, okay, that's it. That's stock chart of the day for today. We talked about natural gas kind of being in this buy zone for paying for lifetime members and Patreon members. Please watch our video, which we're going to talk about a trade idea we actually have, and that's basically it. Okay, so everybody take care, and I hope you enjoyed today's stock chart of the day.